All right. Thank you for coming back. And today we're going to talk about relationships. This is a really big subject, and I'm going to try to keep this in under 5 minutes and keep our time going because I try to keep these things short and brief. We might have to break this up. First of all, I want to explain that a man is an initiator. Now, if you'll just look at the natural realm, it's very obvious. Men are initiators. Men are the penetrators. You can go look at the sexual relationship. A man is an initiator. He's supposed to be a lead. That's just the way it is. Now, we have a lot of people who get angry about that. I understand it. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. I don't really care. But I'm allowed to have my opinion and my insights, and you're allowed to have yours, and we can all respect each other in a very mature and healthy way. When it comes to relationships, and I'm talking to heterosexual men who are monogamous, that means one woman, right? And one man. For those of you who are in alignment with that principle, here's what I want you to understand. If you're trying to find a good girl and you're out there right now, or you're having problems in your relationship, the first thing I want you to do is look at yourself. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying beating yourself over the head, going, oh, I did this wrong. Oh, I did that wrong. No, I'm talking about the opposite of that. I'm talking about your confidence factor. Do you know who you are? Do you have vision? Are you a protector and not a predator? Are you these things? Well, sure, you failed. Sure, you've screwed up. And I want to clear up one thing at the very beginning, and that is about failure. Listen, I love this. I love women in general. I have a lot of wonderful female friends around the world. I'm very blessed in that regard. But I'm going to tell you something. It's very simple. There's a thing inside of human beings that wants to shame and to guilt. We can shame and guilt ourselves, and then we do it to other people. Let me tell you something. It's not failure until you keep repeating the behavior. I went through somewhat of a Navy SEAL training course. It wasn't a full thing, so don't get the idea. I'm not a special ops guy. I admire them immensely. I was just trying to learn and go through the platform and the program. And what I did, one of the things I learned is that in the Navy SEALs, they have a thing going, well, you know what? It's not failure until you repeat, right? Life is an exercise of mistakes. Matter of fact, we learn largely from our mistakes. Now, I'm taking this in the relational context. I have had a number of failed relationships, failed marriages. Yeah, that's plural. And you know what? That's horrible. But it is only failure if I didn't learn from those things. So I'm telling you today that the first thing you need to do before you step out into the relational realm is actually look at yourself and say, hey, am I holding condemnation, judgment, and shame on myself? Am I letting other people do that to me? Because if you are, you got to get rid of that shit, brother. I'm telling you, get rid of it altogether and shove it out the door. Let nobody do that to you. Not yourself, not anybody else. You got to have your game on, because as you approach into relationships, it starts in here first, man. It starts up here. You gotta be a man who has confidence in yourself. You're clean of all that stuff, because a woman will smell this stuff 10 miles away. I'm telling you the truth. So how do we do that? Well, walk through the mistakes that you've made, learn from them objectively, right? Because you're a man of vision. You know where you're going. This was just a little stumbling block along the way, and you keep moving forward. You don't stop. So many people stop when they encounter obstacles and adversities. Don't be that man. Don't be that man. So you're not a predator. You're a protector. You're a visionary. You have vision. You know where you're going in your life, or at least you're on the process of learning it, and you're holding on to that, and you're not going to let yourself go until you find it. And number 3, you're a leader. We talked about this, not a follower. You have leadership in that capacity. In your space and in your sphere, you're a leader. And then this realm right here, you have no shame, no guilt, and you're not carrying around regret because you've learned from your mistakes. That means you're willing to share them. You're willing to talk about them. Why? You can laugh about them. They're a part of your journey. So don't let anybody take that away from you. All right, we're going to move on to the next one.